Training camp for a number of NFL teams around the league is getting off to a start. And on today's episode, we have some questions regarding a number of teams around the league. Can Shedeur Sanders beat out Deshaun Watson in Cleveland? Will the Packers go out there and win the division for the first time since 2021? Is Tua Tagovailoa a lock over Michael Penix? Along with a number of other questions that we're going to talk about on today's episode. But before we do so, you already know you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. So go ahead and support us on our road to 1K by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Steve-O, what's the word?
What's good, folks?
Not a thing, not a thing. A lot of training camps getting started for a number of teams. Some teams started yesterday, some started today. Some will be starting over the weekend, but we getting closer and closer to the greatest sport on earth, and that is tackle football. I did enjoy the World Cup, but tackle American football is the best sport in the world. I'm just telling you. I don't know. But Steve-O, let's kick this thing off with a number of questions we have heading into training camp. The first one up. Do you believe Shedeur Sanders will beat out Deshaun Watson during the Cleveland Browns training camp?
I feel like it's definitely possible, like physically and mentally, just playing the quarterback position. I feel like he could give him a run for their money. Now, will he go out there and be the first week of the season with the Cleveland Browns? I don't know, but in my opinion, like I've always been high on Shedeur. I've always felt like when it came down to the prototype of type of quarterback, he sticks to the mold of what they want most quarterbacks to be. Outside of some of the knucklehead plays that he do, he does have a little gunslinger mentality in him. But obviously they're gonna go out there and see what Deshaun Watson can do due to how much money he's going to be making over these next few seasons. But at the end of the day, if there's a real fair opportunity to be had, I think he can go out there and put up a fight. And but I will iterate, just because he put up a fair fight and possibly in the lines of the team and maybe others that he should be the starting quarterback doesn't necessarily mean that he will.
I agree with you. I think that he can win the job, but I think that the biggest thing here is that we're going to have to monitor is we're going to have to see if the Cleveland Browns are going to play politics and try to justify their decisions for giving Deshaun Watson all that money. Now, is this a fair competition, or do you already have your mind up, Todd Monken, and just pretty much saying, hey, we just go with the guy that makes the most money? Because I look at it as if it's a fair fight, I think that the locker room is going to help you determine who needs to be their quarterback. Yep. And I think that you also need to pay close attention to how guys are rallying around whichever quarterback that is and which one is doing it more on a consistent basis. So far, and I'm happy, Steve-O, I know this is not really football related, but I'm happy Shedeur Sanders has not been in the media so much this offseason. He's been chilling, and that lets me know he's been in work. Except you got bitter-ass Rex Ryan talking crazy because he did a photo shoot for himself. If forget about the community event he had a couple days prior, but that's we just gonna move past that. But I hope they allow it to be a fair type of competition. And honestly, Steve-O, they need to be trying to figure out how the hell they can get him in the starting lineup anyway. Because the worst thing you want to do is to continue to waste his talent, and you can't bank off a QB draft that no one knows how they're gonna play, at least right now in 2027.
Yeah, like it remains to be seen. It's definitely some talented quarterbacks in the up and coming next few drafts, but there's no lockdown, surefire blue chippers in my opinion. So yeah, I think they should go out here and find a guy in the future, which is either one of these guys, and stick with them, because quite frankly, they got everything else in my opinion.
They do. which is crazy. And to that last point, before we ask the next question, ain't no Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, hell, not even a Trevor Lawrence prospect coming out of this next draft. At least today that we can say. So y'all got to make good decisions, and hopefully they make the right one. And hopefully the guy that deserves the job go out there and do something with that talent. Because Andrew Berry knows how to draft. He keeps
Yeah.
killing it. You just got to get the damn quarterback. But hey, Steve-O, now we switch on to, if I'm being a homer, one of my division rivals. But I feel like this is an interesting thing to bring up, and that is the Green Bay Packers. The biggest question I have for them, Steve-O, is will they win the NFC North? They haven't won one since 2021. Steve-O, guess who was their quarterback?
A-Rod?
Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love has never won the NFC North. It's about damn time he gets it done. But will they?
I'm gonna say no, and it has nothing to do with the rivalry. It's just, to me, it's been the same old thing that been the reason why they got 2 years with two rings with two generational quarterbacks. When you should have got more with both of them. You had the first gunslinger of gunslingers, and then you had the pure passer of Aaron Rodgers, and you only got 2 two rings to show for it. Why? Because every single time y'all have a good team, y'all don't make it an excellent team. Y'all don't or you diminish the team that you had that was possibly a Super Bowl team into a minute version of itself. And this is my opinion going into this season. I feel like this team is not as good as the team that was previously. The receiver core regressed. The defense is regressed until Mike could come back. Regardless of how you felt of the people, Rashawn Gary was a nice addition when you had somebody like a Michael Parsons next to him and stuff like that. So the fact that you just shipped everybody else, really, you got what, Van Ness down there? That's it.
Lucas Van Ness, and they picked up Zaire Franklin, who had his worst season last year.
Yeah, and linebacker. So the linebacker core is questionable. The D line outside, we don't know exactly when Mike is coming back, but he's probably gonna make his return mid-season or towards the end. And your secondary is your secondary. I mean, and like I said, you got your running back, but he in trouble. So who's to say what type of season he's gonna have? Your O line is decent, but it could be better. And then your quarterback is up there when it comes to one of the best quarterbacks in the game, but he's a turnover problem in the worst situations as well. So it's all that to combine into that. Your team, to me, your team regressed slightly as a totality, and you the whole goddamn community was ready to boot your goddamn coaches out, and he got an extension. It's just a lot of it don't sound like this franchise is on par with each other. And that's crazy to say because I used to always hate to admit, but I looked up to them because they always usually had their shit together.
For sure. I think that's a great way to look at it too. When it comes to winning NFC North, I just think that it's teams that have less questions than the Green Bay Packers right now. You talked about the defensive line. You talked about the pass rush help. We definitely got to talk about the defensive backs. And we got to include the offensive line. Now you're moving pieces around, but I think the biggest elephant in the room is what you alluded to towards the end of your tape, and that's Matt LaFleur. How many times he gonna choke away big games? And that's not me being a hater. That's me actually looking at the facts.
Yeah.
You the last year you won a division, you lost on your home turf. You just had a 21-3 lead last season versus the Chicago Bears, and y'all blew it because you refuse to be aggressive or do things in a smart way to help the team. And I also think there's a little bit of weariness going on from the front office. I don't necessarily know if they believe in Matt LaFleur, and I think his chances are running out. And I also think, last point, honestly, the Chicago Bears got the toughest schedule, but a team that has an explosive offense has the easiest schedule. And that's the Detroit Lions, and I think they have a better chance of winning a division, even though it hurts me to say, more so than the Green Bay Packers. So that's how I look at it. Yeah. So, hey, y'all let us know how y'all feeling about them Packers down in the box. Steve-O, we shift on down south now to them Dirty Birds in Atlanta. Tua Tagovailoa. and Michael Penix Jr. Do you think there's a chance that Kevin Stefanski might pull this off and start Tua over Penix?
You know he would. You know he would, because that's the type of quarterback he likes. The dink and dunks, do what I tell you, do what I say, not as I do type of quarterback, and that's what he is. He's a safe option. But I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, if I'm Atlanta, I'm sticking with Penix, even though, like I said, the problem is both of your quarterbacks is a health risk,
Bruh.
not an injury risk, a health risk. I hope y'all got insurance on both of them niggas, because I'm just being honest with you. They both is a step away from being done for the season. That's just, and that's not me being funny. That's just what the facts is.
Facts.
You got 3 major knee injuries with him going all the way back to his sophomore, freshman year in college, and
Yeah.
and Michael Pittman. What's his last name? Not Pittman. What's
Penix.
Penix? I'm like, it's not no damn Pittman. I'm like, that's the light skinned motherfucker. But yeah, all those injuries with that, and then you concussion city with Tua Tagovailoa, and just also physical talent. You're limited on your offense because you know Tua can't push the ball down the field like you want him to, and you got 2 targets that is a threat vertically. So he got a run game and he got somewhat of a defense. So if he coached smart and he coached well enough, especially in that division, your ass should be in the playoffs. But it's up to Kevin Stefanski for sure.
For sure. I think he might absolutely go that route with starting Tua Tagovailoa. Last year he got benched, you know what I'm saying, down in Miami. But I think it's the same thing with the Shedeur stuff. Do you want to see if you have something for the future, or do you just want to say, let's go get as many games we can get now? Because I think that's just the whole politics of a lot of franchises right now. Sometimes it's not always about let's picking the guy that's more deserving or the guy that we want to, try to figure things out with. It's we got to keep the fans happy. We got to keep our veterans with some belief, which is it's a very well a true thing and a true feeling. But I just hope that either way it go, that whoever they select, they do right by my man's Bijan, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. That's your young core that needs a quarterback. And your offensive line is not too damn shabby. So maybe they could protect Tua. He can be solid, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely some big questions ahead for the Atlanta Falcons. Kevin Stefanski got to figure that shit out.
I don't think it shouldn't be that difficult.
You don't think so?
Run the ball.
That's what we like to talk about. See them big boys up front moving mugs out the way.
And they've got one of the best run games in the league already. That line could definitely run block. And then you got a dynamic running back in Bijan Robinson. Run the ball. And then throw it to the motherfuckers where you need to.
I'm going to throw this at you. I'm not saying that this team is this team I'm about to bring up. But the damn philosophy worked. Super Bowl champion Eagles. We're going to feed Saquon. And then when we just need you to make a play, just make the fucking play.
Either quarterback can do that.
That's a good philosophy you going with?
That's why I feel like that should be their philosophy. That's the clear blueprint with this team. That's what this team is made for currently.
I'm with it. Now some more interesting stuff, Steve-O. We moving on. That man, Aaron Donald. Will he return during training camp? He been working at the facility is what we keep hearing, some of the rumors and stuff. Me personally, I feel like he probably at that age to say, to hell with training camp. I can work out on my own. But do you think Aaron Donald will return to the Rams for training camp, or do you think he will return at all?
He's going to be there game 1.
Yeah.
He just not going to be there training camp.
Oh, the real.
He going to be at home turning that motherfucker jug around. He going to be out in that motherfucker. I mean, he already in the facility, so he's in the facility now. So, like, that's the telling sign. Like, one thing we know about him, he going to work on his own already. So, the fact that he's stepping foot in the facility back the first time he been in the facility since he left, all signs is telling me that he's going to be there he's going to be in the season at some point. That's what I feel.
I think around once that little third preseason game roll around,
You gonna get that announcement.
we might be getting that announcement that Aaron Donald is making his return, and that's they already Super Bowl contenders, but they're definitely gonna be Super Bowl favorites if Aaron Donald it's on the line with Myles Garrett, and let's just say Aaron Donald gives you 80% of what it was. That's still better than most defensive tackles in the league. And it's good. They cheating, bro. It's gonna be a cheat code.
That shit. Nobody could pick the Rams on Madden.
On the real.
That's how they ass built.
Bro, you don't know what's your game plan. You gonna put a left tackle with a tight end and block Myles Garrett and tell your guard and your center to get Aaron Donald? Somebody's bound to get open. And they have other good pass rushers. Plus, they got a good defensive backfield now because they picked up Trent McDuffie and his running mate from KC.
Bro, we finna have a league every time they play them, a league full of 3-route combos. Fucking them niggas they run it the three routes max.
Oh, the real. Y'all gonna have to get real creative with that offensive game plan if you trying to block up Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald, even at 80%. It's gonna be scary for the league.
We gonna see here. As soon as that announcement, we gonna see about 3 Drew Dalmans. I'm done. I don't want to play no. I don't want to play no more. I quit.
For sure, that'll be a crazy one though. But the next question is: do you think the Chiefs should hold Patrick Mahomes out to start the season? So to start the season, the first 4 weeks, they have Denver, Indy, Miami, and Vegas before they hit a bye week. What do you think the best plan is for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
Come back when he's supposed to. Don't rush it at all. There's no point of rushing it. I mean, we already seen like tearing your ACL ain't like he's used to, so I'm him returning back to being Pat is not my concern. It's just there's no point of rushing it. Like I don't feel like y'all in contending state to be rushing him back. Like if just see where he's at, see where the team is at, and if he just wants to finish the year out the way he is, he finished the year out the way he is. But it should all be up to his feeling, his comfortability. If he feel like he's able out there to be Patrick and be the real Patrick without hesitating, yeah, let him go out there and do it. But it should be no rush. I'm not putting him back in the first 1, 2, 3, nothing. He coming out after the bye season. After the bye week.
I agree with you. I think that should be a good starting point because you definitely want to allow him extra time, if you will, because the long season, and we know there are a number of teams that's gonna get off to a hot start and fizzle out. We know the best teams that typically go on a run, they keep pace, but then they start to peak. You know what I'm saying? Down around October, November, heading into December and January. So it's probably like that last part of October to where you really want to start seeing your team gear up to make that playoff push. We've seen plenty of times teams start out the first 6 weeks 4-2 and then squander the whole season away. Trust me, I seen it firsthand. So the biggest question is, Steve-O, do you think Justin Fields out of the first 4 weeks at minimum can go 2-2? To where they don't lose that much track.
Yeah, he did it before with a lesser team and a lesser coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I think he should. At bare minimum, you should be able to do that. If you can't, like I said, I've been telling people this is your last chance.
It is Justin Fields' last chance to make an impression. If you can't work with Andy Reid,
XFL, here you come.
Boy. We've seen the rehabilitation process that Andy Reid had with Michael Vick. We knew Michael Vick was nice. But he was out of the league for a couple years because of legal stuff. He came back and really, had some really good, impressive ball games for the Philadelphia Eagles. That was just some impressive stuff. So if Justin Fields can't get it right with him, Andy Reid, yeah, bro, we're going to see you in the UFL, brother. And that's sad to say. Sad to say. But, hey, Steve-O, you got any other questions you want to bring up for any other team around the NFL?
As of now, nah.
My boy said nah. But hey, man, y'all let us know in that comment box if you have any questions for whatever team that you have headed into their respective training camp, because that is it from us today, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football, and y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
This has been a presentation